Welcome to our next adventure with Chemology 411, a podcast about anything and everything. Kim and her guests will take you behind the scenes, behind the story, or behind the bar. So sit back. Make sure your seatbelt is fastened, tray table in its upright position, all carry-ons stored under the seats. But for this adventure, electronic devices must remain on, as we are ready to take off on our next adventure. Introducing Kim Schultz and Chemology 411.
Welcome to episode 8. Today's episode, we're going to talk about Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, and Giving Tuesday. That is one full week. The stress of buying my very first set of concert tickets to a major star. Oh, and the very first superstar segment. And should or shouldn't businesses be open on holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas? I am Kim Schultz, and I'm your adventure coordinator for this show. Let's say hi to my co-host, Tyson Harley. Hello.
There you go. I was wondering where the hi was going on.
He's just sitting here. He's just like waiting. Like, are you going to really say hi to me?
So
he's just staring at me.
You said you're going to have a superstar segment. Well, what have you called this whole time you've had me as a co-host? Oh, never mind. You just mean a different superstar and a specific segment, not exactly. The entire show.
Right. I mean, you're the co-host, so you're automatically in the superstar
there
category.
You go. Well, hello to you too, Kim. Long time no see-ish.
I know. I've been gone for like 2 weeks. I went to Dallas for 8 days, came back one day, loaded up a bus, went to Branson, took 21 people on a charter bus down to Branson. It was awesome because there's a story in there I'll tell you about, but in Dallas, I got to do an interview for the podcast, which you'll get to listen to later, and eat a lot of food and just kind of hang out. I went and stayed and did movie night with my friend Bonnie. And I worked a lot. I had to work on some holiday stuff. Yeah, you were saying that you would definitely, having your type of job, that you could also get plenty of work done while you're there. Yeah, I got my new website. I got my website finally updated for Selfie Cards Matters. I got 4 payrolls done. I did. I was able to call all the restaurants to find out about who's open for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's in Topeka, which we'll talk about that later. And just kind of chill out. But I almost didn't make it to Dallas. I almost probably went to jail.
No.
I mean, look at me. I am a hard-looking criminal right here. Okay. Quit laughing. So I like to get to the airport like 2 hours early. All right? Because I like to people watch, and I like no stress for my flying.
Absolutely.
So
that
I want
helps
to get there. And even though at KCI we have literally no wait, really, it's not that big of an airport. They just
kind of why I wonder why they're going to make $1 billion airport, because it's so easy to get in and out. But that's a different story.
Right?
Go ahead.
We need to mark that down. We'll have to follow that story because I'm kind of excited about that. But going back. They just put in, when I went to Atlanta, they had just installed the self-checkouts for your baggage, which is freaking phenomenal. That means you don't have to wait in line. There's like 20 different kiosks. You put in your reservation, they pull out the sticker, you put it on your bag, and you just go wait in line to hand it off, show them your ID, get on the plane. Not a problem. I have TSA pre-check because I travel all the time. So if you travel all the time, I don't know why you don't have it. It's just the best thing ever. I get in line. It normally is 5 minutes. I'm waiting. There's one person in front of me. I'm waiting. The guy behind me is like, why are we taking so long? And I looked at him and I said, the girl scanning the package, the suitcases and stuff, she's new. They're training her because there's not that many people over there. And so they were stopping. Yeah, it was not a good time to go through. So every package they'd stop. And then the girl would go, that's this, that's that, that's this. Look for here, do this, do that, move on. This, that. And so I'm already standing, I'm waiting. And next thing you know, I've got this little duffel bag that basically has my makeup, my shampoo stuff.
Sure it does.
It has, it has my neck pillow that I take out so that I can put my purse in the bag because you can only have 2 things on there. So I've got my camera equipment in my other bag. So I have some like tampons, some perfume, just basic bath stuff in this bag. And they pull it out and they're like, who does this belong to? And I'm like, me? And they're like, are there any sharp objects in here? And I was like, I don't think so. So they pull me aside. I'm not nervous by any means, but it's really weird because I woke up that morning and I felt something was wrong. I didn't know what was wrong. And so I got this premonition. So she says, she takes out this little piece of paper thing. She goes through my bag and she's pulling everything out and she unzips the front and she pulls out my bag of Herbalife, which is my breakfast shake mix and my lunch shake mix. And they're in little snack bags. So each shake has their own little bag. And then it's in a quart-sized bag. And I mean, I'm a dumbest drug dealer in the world just to bring my cocaine in a big old bag on the plane.
Herbs, huh?
So she takes the little swab thing, puts it in a machine, and all of a sudden this receipt prints out. And I think it said like 912 or something. And she's like, we're going to need a supervisor. And I was like, for my Herbalife drinks? I've literally taken Herbalife with me for the last 12 years on every plane because it's what I drink for breakfast for the last 12 years. And so the supervisor comes over and he's like, did you get a positive? And she's like, yeah, I got a code, blah, blah. And he goes, all right, ma'am, we're going to have to go ahead and go through and test all of your stuff. I need you to take your shoes off and go stand over there. We're going to have someone come over here and pat you down. So... You're laughing. So
the
she's
one
like,
thing you missed about your TSA membership. You
I know.
forgot about that.
I didn't know.
I said membership. Whatever. It's like an express pass, like you're at Disney World.
You pay for it, yeah. But I'm thinking, I go, okay. So I'm over there, and the lady comes over, and I'm thinking, there are no cute guys over here. Because I'm going, like, cute guy, I give you permission. But nope, the lady comes over and she's like, I'm going to have to get into some uncomfortable areas. I'm going to go up between your legs. I'm going to go around your bra strap. And I was like, I just put my arms down. I'm like, you can pat away all you want. I'm not a very modest person. I don't care. Just pat me down.
By the way, is your name Pat? Because that would be great.
Yeah, pat me down.
Because Pat could be the guy or the girl TSA person.
Could, yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, she was very nice. So the other lady, they have these little swabs, these little pieces of paper. And so she swabs this thing, puts it over there, negative. Swab, negative. Swab, negative, swab, negative, swab, negative, swab, negative. Inside my camera, taking out all my equipment, going through everything. And I'm sitting there because there's nothing in these bags. There's no, I found out, my friend said that it's more like explosive residue. And I'm like, I wouldn't put my camera bag in my bomb room. I mean, that's hello. So just a note to, if you're listening to this and you do build bombs or like do explosive, like for 4th of July and stuff, don't put your luggage in the room. Keep it out because it could get you in trouble, evidently. So everything comes back negative, and I'm just standing there, and the lady comes over and she hands me my shoes because they had to put my shoes, they had to run them through the radar detector, the screener. She goes, this is clear. And the manager guy comes over and he goes, is she cleared? And the lady goes, have a good day, really small. The one that patted me down. The lady checking my bags, she looks at him, she goes, yes, I'm done. And like walked off. Like she was so disappointed. I mean, she was so disappointed that I wasn't like a bad person. I was thinking, so I'm wondering if like the machine gives a false positive reading every so often to keep people in line, to keep people scared.
Oh, like a purposeful one.
Like a purpose one to get them to practice what they're doing, making sure they know what they're doing. Maybe it was a whole train day. I don't know. But I made it through in 35 minutes. That's what it took me. There was one person in front of me in line. It took me 35 minutes. So then I walk and I'm just kind of like, that's kind of funny. Like they did their job. She was rude. Here you are being like a normal person. Some people have like those guilty things. I didn't. I'm like, I mean.
Those guilty things.
Like. Why am I being... they automatically go in thinking that they're guilty when they're not.
Gotcha.
They just are guilty. I didn't because I was like, I travel all the time. But if you don't travel all the time and they did that to you, you probably would not travel for a while. I'm just like, feel me up, give me my shoes, and then I had to repack my bag stuff to get my cameras and stuff put back.
Thanks, Pat.
Yeah.
See you next
And then
time.
I was like, have a good day.
Pat.
And then I kind of walked off, and she left. Like, I mean, I don't know if she had to go take a break and calm down. I don't know what happened. So it wasn't that bad of an experience, but she could have been nicer. I did nothing wrong. And literally, I'm just on a diet. Maybe she's jealous of me because she's a larger woman, and she's thinking, how dare you be so good about drinking your shakes in the morning? I tried Herbalife and it failed me. I don't know.
She got some little patch on her wrist where she can
I don't know.
just fake a positive anytime
Yeah,
she wants.
something like it's like I don't like her. She has an evil look.
Looks positive.
Yes.
Guess you gotta wait.
So anyway, we did
Ms.
that. but-
Diet McDietson.
Exactly. But Dallas didn't stop me. Same powder, same stuff. Didn't care. Like that girl was like...
I get it, I guess, because of the one scenario, but I still think it's funny to immediately have to take your shoes off. I don't
Right.
know why.
Yeah.
That'll stop them.
So, yeah.
Well, now if the shoes are problems, they're now right next to you, so I'm not sure.
Right.
Why don't
Yeah.
you just go as far as you're going to go, see if you got any actual positives, and then if you do, proceed with the shoes. Take off your
Right.
shoes and go over there.
Exactly. That's why I like TSA PreCheck, because I don't have to take my shoes off. I don't have to take my computer out of my bag. I don't.
Why not?
I'm TSA PreCheck, dude. Like, I'm VIP. You get a special thing. They take your fingerprints. They know who you are. So you're in the
the idea
database.
is
to
you've
get
got
you
more
through like
data
the
on
normal. So they know who you are, and when they're like, so they do a background check on you and all that kind of stuff. So I'm TSA PreCheck. So you don't have to take your belt off. You don't have to take your shoes off. You don't have to take the computer out of your bag. You don't have to take the shampoos out of your bag. So basically you go back to before 9/11 have how you get to go through security. But I think that's why they were training her, is because there's less people in TSA PreCheck, and they it's so that she could look at our bags a lot.
They said, listen, this person looks like she's here early and has the time. It's going to stress her, but it's not going to miss her flight, stress her.
Yeah.
You know.
So anyway, that happened. So that was interesting. I've been frisked before because I have forgotten a bottle of water in my bag. And so that causes an alert. My mom put one in my bag because she thought I'd get thirsty. She's like, I just snuck that in there for you. Yeah, don't sneak things in my bag. Because I almost had, I was about taken down by security because I had a bottle of water.
Alert, the most common liquid on the planet.
Right. So we did.
I know, I get it. Just
just joke. I'd rather go in and buy the $9 bottle of water. It's so much better.
Yeah.
If you get thirsty. So we did that, and then I came back. I did Branson. Took 21 people down there. We saw a couple shows. It was an incredible trip.
Probably still a nice time of year for it.
It was. The weather was awesome. I screwed everything up. I didn't tell the hotel who the guests were in each room, and evidently you have to do that. I got free food at the Tanger Outlet Mall if I would have called ahead of time. I got free food at Lambert's because I was the director, the bus driver, and then we went to a place called Osceola Cheese. They have like 253 kinds of cheeses, and I got a little goodie bag
Wait a
there.
second. You mean Lambert's on the way?
Yeah, on Branson.
That's Throde Rolls.
Oh my God.
Throde Rolls. So for those of you not from the region, I can't think of the menu really, but the point is that it's a pretty big place, and they'll be like, "You want another roll?" And they'll be like,
and
"Yeah, I mean, sure." But instead of them being next to you when they ask you that, they can be 25 feet away, and they just throw it at you, and you're supposed to catch.
Sometimes it hits you in the head. It hits them in the head, bonk on the floor.
And you feel like kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of like an NFL receiver because I caught that. No problem. Well, so you just got to keep your head on a swivel.
And it's all kind of home cooking. You get your sides.
It's good. It's just that's the most memorable.
Yeah,
when you think
it's
of
called the
Lambert's,
home of the
thing.
throwing rolls. There's like 3 different locations you can go.
It's Throde.
Yeah, they throwed.
I think they call it Throde Rolls.
It could be Throde Rolls. I don't know. But it's good food.
And it's down in that part of Missouri if you're headed...
In the Ozarks.
Not very far from Branson. You're not real far from Lambert's, which is closer to... Anyway, down that area. Check it out if you're in that region.
So we did that. We got the cheese. We came home. We were home by 8. And that was my weekend. And it's been very hard to get back into everything this week. I have just failed almost on all of my attempts to do anything. Like, I guess I could do it tomorrow. Well, and it's Wednesday, and it's been 2 tomorrows, and I still haven't gotten some stuff done.
Meanwhile, one thing you said you wanted to talk about, another thing that doesn't make life so positive.
Was it still raining when you came?
So, yeah, you're saying, what do you think about the cold? And I thought actually today was interesting. So we've had kind of the mini winter, and now it's here where we are in Kansas. It is moderated a little bit. And it was real nice. It's been real nice for a couple of days. It's a little cooler today, and it's got a lot of rain, but I like the feel of it being just kind
now it's fall-y.
Mid-50s. It's not like it's the 40s and it's raining. Mid-50s or so when it was raining. And, because one thing about the winter when it comes on is that I hate that dry air.
Yeah.
Even being past, like when you're renting and you only have those wall space heaters that just totally dry up. Even so, that dry air... I mean, I've got a good humidifier now, but I just hate that dry air.
Yeah.
So it's not quite cold enough for that, but I'm starting to feel it in my house.
Right.
And then if you have any cats, and I'm not allergic per se, but I think everybody's allergic a little bit.
Mildly,
the drier the air, if you got like cat dander around, the worse that is too. So it's almost time to start the humidifier. So almost. And I've got a decent one, but it's just even then it's like, I got to fill it again. It's like, every 12 hours, every day you got to fill it. I know, first world problems, but it's just one other little thing hard to do, So
right.
But so far the cold's not bothering me too much, but the being dark, I was grouchy today. I think there's a bunch of reasons for it, but I think at the end of the day, it didn't help.
We talked about that in a previous episode about the daylight savings time. Yeah. And I thought I saw on Facebook, and it could be wrong because there's so many fake things that a city or a state was going to keep daylight savings time, and they weren't going back to standard time. So it could have been a joke. I didn't get to read it, but I saw it, and I think I saved it in our little video thing that we'll have to look up. But I'm thinking, how awesome that would be, because it's like last night I headed down to Kansas City about like 6 o'clock. It's just solid. It's just dark out. Right. And it's like, it makes you feel like I shouldn't go to Kansas City because it's almost bedtime. And I got home 2 o'clock in the morning.
Sleep earlier. I mean, for whatever reason, getting up earlier. But what's the date that we're recording this? If we can,
it's 11/20 of 2019.
So we're basically close to only a month out of the shortest day. So that's good. Just look forward to that. That not long, and the days will at least be
and
getting
then it starts
longer.
to go
ever so slightly.
Right.
At first it's very slow going. So other than that, the cold hasn't bothered me too much because it's not exactly cold here yet. And a lot of times it doesn't really happen until January.
And we've had like really cold days for like a day or two, and then it drops down really cold.
You're right. We've had some cold wind chills.
Yeah, because I always say on Facebook,
wind chills like in the teens or something.
Yeah,
and the biting wind from the north.
And I think today's high was supposed to be like 68, but it was so windy. I went to go get my new driver's license, the real one, so I could get rid of my fake one. Do you have a fake? Do you have a fake driver's license?
I apparently have the fake ID.
I think you have the fake ID because I'm gonna have a star on mine. I mean, I should already have a star, but I got the star one, and the lady just really quick. The lady there was hilarious. I won't even go by the process. It was very simple to do it. But she went to take my picture. She goes, "Oh, girl, your hair is a mess. Get over here." And because it was so windy outside, so she rearranged it. And she looked at it and she goes, "I can't do much more." I was like, "Oh, great. Can we just use the picture from 2 years ago?" I don't know why I'm taking a new picture. No. So I took the picture. I got my hair straightened out and she helped me out. But that freaking wind it wasn't cold. It was just windy. So I knew it was going to blow it in, and then now it's just rainy.
Yeah. We're not getting it bad yet. I mean, I'll take windy and rainy and in the 50s just fine in November, where it's practically Thanksgiving.
So a couple weeks ago, on episode, I think it was 6, we talked, no, 7. It was on 7 because we talked about Small Business Saturday and how small businesses really aren't small businesses.
Right.
Because it's just something that American Express did. But then I started hearing on like the radio that I was listening to, and they were like, well, Black Friday specials are already out. So now we have a week ahead of time. We have the pre-Black Friday specials. So we're literally this Friday, other stores are having Black Friday.
Is it Gray Friday? What is it? Do we have a name
I think
for
it's
it yet?
like, I don't know, charcoal? Maybe it's charcoal. Yeah. It could be Charcoal Friday. I don't know. So anyway, so now we have 2 Black Fridays. Then we have our Small Business Saturday. And then Monday becomes Cyber Monday. And then we have Giving Tuesday.
Cyber Monday. This is interesting to me. I wonder how much what we're going to get to. Actually, I'll say that in a minute after you get further on. I just have a thought on something you're going to next.
You're going to write it down so you don't forget?
I got it, actually.
Okay. But then we go to Giving Tuesday. So Chemology...
Giving Tuesday.
Giving Tuesday. So
I literally have never heard that until I saw the show prep.
Right. So what that means is that's where you donate to your local charities.
Yeah, it makes perfect
and it just
sense.
it jumps into, hey, you're buying all this stuff, spending all this money. But this is Chemology. So I don't know who invented Giving Tuesday, but kudos for the idea. But you did it wrong. Like, you did it wrong. Wouldn't you have Thanksgiving, right? Being thankful. Wouldn't it be Giving Tuesday, the Tuesday before the Thursday of Thanksgiving, before people donate?
Wednesday.
I mean, Giving Wednesday.
Yeah.
But it needs to be before we spent all of our money. It's like now I've got like $12 left because I've had Black Friday. I went and kicked butt on Small Business Saturday. Amazon took most of my money, and now I'm going to give. What am I giving? What exactly are we giving on Giving Tuesday? So in my brain, we should have had Giving Tuesday or Giving Wednesday should have been right before Thanksgiving, and giving to our local charities.
It sets the tone for Thanksgiving also.
That's right. See, we are so smart.
Wednesday and Thursday could be Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it could be, hello. Literally, the name of Thursday is Thanksgiving.
I know.
So
exactly.
Give, but nope, we're going to wait till we've already bought all those gifts that everyone really, really needs, and then we're going to give our leftovers to the charities.
Well, symbolically and then literally in the sequence, it's the afterthought. Unfortunately, right? Like, when did they think of Giving Tuesday? After they thought of the other days?
Well, I'm going to say yes.
And then, to your point, then it's like, unfortunately, it's literally an afterthought.
Well, we just keep that. So we have Giving Tuesday, then we have Wednesday could be. I mean, then for the rest of like all the way through November. Don't get them started,
okay?
On November, we're just gonna have something till November 30th, and then we start the 25 days of Christmas. Oh, that's television. That's never mind. That's.
Was that one of those?
It's only 12 days of Christmas, I guess.
So I had somebody, I'm not going to go any further than this, because I don't want to make it sound bad, but I literally recently had someone say, you want to come watch a Hallmark movie?
Oh, was it a date? Are you going to have to put up a tree?
No. Inside joke about how it would seem more approachable and
no,
like
that was
the
in last
episode. Small town deal. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Well,
show joke.
So
I don't worry about trees. Yeah. Anyway, just wanted to mention that really quick.
So somebody comes up and she's really cute. And she's like, "You want to come over and watch Hallmark movies?" And the first thing you're like, "Oh my gosh, if we date, I got to put up a tree. Do I really want to put up a tree? Can we?"
A lot of things.
There's so many things that you have to think about before. We could watch a Hallmark movie and do a podcast during the Hallmark movie. We could do that and just sit there and tell people what it is, tell people
kind
turn
of
it on.
Mystery Science Theater
yes,
3000
yes.
Whatever, except
we should do that. I should go through and find the shortest movie there is, and then we'll sit down here and watch it, and we'll tell people which one it is, and then give them a link to it.
You're going to have to be close enough to me that you can punch me in the shoulder, because otherwise Tyson's input to this will be sorry.
I think you'll cry. I think you'll get a little tear in your eye.
So. There's a small amount of sentimentality for sure, but it has to just come on the right way.
If it was the right girl, you'd be bawling.
Well, that's true. They got cuties on the actual shows. Yeah, like, all right.
All right, so did you see on Facebook what I bought last week?
What you bought?
I bought.
Oh, yeah. But I didn't remember until you prepped me tonight the specifics of it.
Right.
But yeah, after you said that, I'm like, oh, that's right. And I didn't hear how it went or any of that. So what are you talking about?
Okay, so I watched Rocket Man. I love Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie, Rocket Man, the movie. And it's like Wednesday, I get a notice that says Elton John is coming back to Kansas City for a concert in July. And so I contacted my friend Tom because he loves going to concerts. I didn't know if he'd gone because he goes to a lot of concerts. I don't. People get tickets, and then Kim goes for a seat filler because somebody backed out, and then everybody they know says no, so I get a phone call, and I'm like, I'll go. I mean, that's how I got to go see the Police back in 1984. I got to see the Rolling Stones. I've seen Zac Brown Band, but I've never bought tickets to one of these major concerts. I bought show tickets before, but that's not the same as buying concert tickets. Even like when I went to Garth Brooks, somebody else bought the tickets, and I just pay them for them. Well, this time I say, Tom said, well, the tickets go on sale November 22nd. I'm going to be in Wisconsin doing the Thanksgiving thing. Can you get the tickets? And I was like, okay. And so I said, well, how much do you want to spend on these tickets? So he gave me a price, which was kind of low because I don't think he really understood how much Elton John was going to cost. But then I was like reading through and I saw it says, if you have an American Express card, you get to order tickets tomorrow, which was like the 15th or something. So then I don't have an American Express card. I just have my Southwest card. And so I'm thinking, who do I know that has an American Express card? So I called one of my friends and I was like, and I work for them. I said, I might need your American Express card today. And then I'll just write you a check because my Southwest card actually just sent me checks in the mail. I'm like, this is perfect. And so she was like, yeah, just let me know if you want it. And I was like, okay. Well, then I was sitting there and one of my other clients, I pulled up his account because I reconcile his cards every month. I'm like, oh, he still has a balance. So I called him and I'm like, can you do me the biggest favor ever? Can I just use your card to buy these tickets and I'll get you the money? He was like, of course you can. So he gave me the number and all that stuff to use it because I'm his accountant. So I already have access to everything. I just don't have the number. Got everything in. I had the expiration date, the 3-digit code, and his zip code and the card number. And I'm sitting upstairs in my house on my laptop, and I go to Sprint Center, and I hit the button to order tickets, and then it says American Express, so you click that, and it says, put in your passcode. I'm like, passcode? So then I go back to the article on Facebook. I'm scrolling through, and there's in gold was the pass. Put it in gold, and pops up. So I put in, I want 2 tickets. It doesn't matter what price. Let's see where we go. No tickets available. Now it's 12 o'clock. The tickets have been on sale for 2 hours. And I was like, hit the button again. No tickets available. Hit the button again. No tickets available. So I changed the 2 to a 1, hit the 1. I could have gotten row 9 for $250 as a single person. And I'm thinking, oh, jeez, do I really need to take Tom?
What if we're just 11 seats apart?
Yeah. Well, no.
Do it over there.
So I go back and I put 2, no tickets, no tickets, no tickets. So like I said, this is my very first time, and I am an information junkie. I want to know the process of how everything works. So I go to 2 different third-party sites. I look up Elton John tickets, and I'm able to buy tickets for $500 on these other sites. And I'm thinking, so I'm looking through the tickets. There's floor seats. There's tons of tickets on these other sites that are $500. So I call Sprint Center, and I said, I am not complaining. I really just want to know how this all works. This is just me needing knowledge because I'm weird. So I told her what happened, and she was just like, oh, well, if there's no tickets, they're sold out. And I go, so you sold out the entire concert in 2 hours? He was literally here in February. So I know that, thousands of people aren't going to pay this to see him, again. I mean, some will, but not everybody.
She couldn't tell you the allotment for American Express. It was clearly some kind of an allotment.
Well, what she said was, I said, well, explain to me this. Why can I go to third-party sites and buy these tickets? And she says to me, well, they get online at 10 o'clock and they have a lot of American Express cards. Oh, really? That's how that works. So that's not how that works. Like these third vendor people, there's always underlying ways of them getting these tickets. They literally didn't go on and buy 6 tickets at a time to buy 100 tickets. That did not happen. So I was like, okay. And then I said, so all the people on the 22nd, she goes, oh, I'm sorry. We released tickets periodically. So we didn't release all the tickets today. We only released so many. And I'm like, well, that makes sense to me. So I still have chance to get tickets. Maybe not today, but I'll try again on Friday before I leave. I hang up the phone. I'm sitting there and I hit the button and boom, section 119, 2 tickets, row 13. And I was like, it's a little bit more than we wanted to spend. I don't care. Bye. Because I want good seats. These are good seats. So I told Tom how much he needed to pay me. I'll pay the rest. I just wanted to go, and I got my tickets. I was so freaking excited. So I put on Facebook, like, who got Elton John tickets? Me. I got Elton John tickets. And then nobody since then with American Express that I know of has been able to buy them. So it was meant to be. I mean,
I feel like he's a good age too, to where, you've seen, I used to be a country disc jockey, and you'd have to, someone would be coming through who's literally from the 70s, and this is in the, past 2010,
right,
or right near it, and so they'd be 30 years past their recording prime. But I feel like Elton John probably is still, he's the right age still, and the right type of voice that you could probably still be pretty good. Outside of maybe won't jump around the stage as much, but that's not really his deal.
Mick Jagger, 70-some years old, was all over that.
There's something.
But
there's something different about that dude. I don't know what.
Did you notice? I don't know if you read any comments, but one of my friends on Facebook put, "You just wasted your money. He's gonna die." And I was like, what? They just reported that he had to miss a concert because he's really, really sick. And I'm thinking, well, the concert's not till July. And I don't know why, if he was really, really sick, why they would release another set of concerts. And so Kim looks it up, and I find the article. His mother-in-law died, and he was very sick over it, and he canceled a concert. So I put the article in my thing.
You just wasted your money. He's gonna die.
He's gonna die. He's not doing good. And he goes, and I just said, here's the article. And then he goes, I'm so thankful that he's not gonna die. And I'm like, well, he could still die. Like, anybody could die. I could die, but the concert's not till July 8th. So I've got a long ways. But that's that one thing that's gonna get summer here just quicker, because I'm gonna be at the Elton John concert before we know it. How exciting.
8 months.
You don't like those kind of things, do you? Do you like going to concerts? Does that bother you?
I would, except that whole
people
money thing. No, I like people.
So if you had free tickets, if someone said...
Yeah. I'd go with free tickets, absolutely. I think it's kind of ridiculous how the whole idea is that the reason you have a bunch of people in one place is so that it's cheaper for every single person, and yet you're going to pay $75. It's like, why would every single person with tens of I shouldn't say tens of thousands. Sprint Center, though, is probably 15,000, maybe 20, depending on what the situation is there, because it was made for basketball and then other things. It's like 15,000 people? That he's only doing it once, every single thing he's doing. He's not doing it 100 or 15,000 times. Right. So it's just weird to me how expensive they are, considering.
They are. But you have to, once you get into concerts, you have to realize all the expenses that go into everything.
A lot more production value than there used to be, too, at least at certain types
It was
of
like $50 just for my fees. And there's like all different fees. So you've got the Sprint fees. So you got the ticket price that goes to him. Then you've got this fees. You got that fees.
In other words, I'll never pay for that.
And so
I'm not saying you shouldn't or anybody
no.
shouldn't. I mean, that's your thing. Anybody spends money the way they want to spend money.
Right. And I expected, when I knew what I was going to pay for the tickets, that's what I paid for the tickets. I knew that my tickets were cheaper than Rolling Stones tickets, which I didn't buy, but our Rolling Stone tickets were $250 a piece. So that means they would have been like $300 because we were club level and we got those given to us. So anyway, that was my experience of buying tickets, and I just felt as if it was meant to be. I mean, honestly, if I wouldn't have gotten tickets, it wasn't meant to be. Like, I'm not supposed to go. I'm not going to fret over it. I'm not going to get mad about it.
You would have gotten them eventually.
I could have.
With the non-American Express.
Yeah,
deal.
maybe on Friday. Cher's in town on April 18th. She still has tickets available. Like, you could just go get that. And my friend wanted to go see Cher, but now Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and Poison are supposed to be coming together, and we were like
1993.
Oh my gosh! So
I know some of those were earlier than that, but I'm just saying the proximity.
That's a concert that we're probably going to pay a lot of money to go see. But I see one concert a year, and so I think it's worth paying the money for the experience because I literally can lose $200 one night at the casino.
That's right. You do have that.
I'm that casino person. So like I can walk out, I can bring in $200. I walk out with $0. I didn't see a concert, but I had 7 hours of friends.
Now you know you're going to be minus 200.
Yeah, so it's like but it's all called memories and adventures. So okay, so I got back from Dallas, and was able to sit down with my friend Val with Val's Cheesecake. And he got to do, I named this really, really quick because I'm a superstar. So I named it the Superstar segment, S cubed. Superstar segment. I have 2 different words for superstar. Here is just a snippet of what you will find on that Superstar segment, episode 1, with Val's Cheesecake.
That'll be about, what, 4 or 5 minutes, and then we'll be back, something like that?
Yeah, we're going to go to commercial, and then we'll be back. Hey everyone, this is Kim, and we're returning back with my special guest this segment, Val with Val's Cheesecake. How are you doing, Val?
I am doing good, Kim. This is my first time on a podcast.
Ooh.
Yeah. Scary, but we are still going to do this.
Well, it's not too scary. We just have to talk. It's not like we haven't talked before.
I love you, Kim.
You do.
I don't care what I heard about you.
You've been talking to my brothers.
Yeah, a little bit. They told me, well, there's a dancer, there's a pole, there's an issue.
Wow, he has. All right, so Val, I am in Dallas, Texas right now, and Val is a friend of mine that I met through his business because I have an addiction to cheesecake, and he has the flair of making the best cheesecake. So tell us just a little bit about what you do.
Well, we have the best cheesecake in Texas. So we're trying to conquer the whole United States right now. All right. So that's the goal. All right. But we bake cheesecakes. We bake savory cheesecakes. We bake cheesecake cupcakes, cheesecake. We have slices, whole cheesecakes, you name it. There's not a dessert or a flavor that we can't turn into a cheesecake. So we're pretty big on just giving people a run for their money when it comes to flavors and flavor profiles and textures and stuff like that.
So how long have you been making cheesecakes on a professional, like actually out of when you started the Shack? How long ago has that been?
So the Shack's been open since June 30th, 2015. I remember the date, the time, exact hours, where So it's been about 4 years, going on 5 years now. Wow.
So when I first met you, you guys are pretty new at there, because it's been like 4 years when when I first met you, I didn't know that you were actually the owner when I found the cheesecake. But the little short story is I travel to see all my friends all the time, and they moved from Atlanta to Dallas, and I know all the Atlanta places, but I needed dessert in Dallas. And so they were like, well, look something up. And I said, I want cheesecake because that's my favorite. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, look, no, because those are all chains. And I said, have you been to Val's Cheesecake? And they're like,
Val.
What? And so we were like, let's go find it. Because, when it comes to cheesecake, we're going to search it down. So we drive and we're driving and we get to this little place and we see a bar and we're looking around and we're like, I don't see cheesecake. And then I see the little snow cone hut.
That's what it's a shack. It's literally the shack. It's a shack. If you look at it online, it's the shack. There's nowhere about it.
I was gonna say it's a little building with like a little walk-up window.
Cheesecake drugs.
Yes,
yeah.
Well, cheesecake is a drug.
Yeah.
For me. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so when we first went there, you were actually working, and it was a Sunday, I think, because we were talking about the laws in Kansas had just changed, so we have liquor sales on Sunday.
Yeah.
And you were talking about how in your area you can't buy it. So like if you were to run out of an ingredient, you can't get the
God, you remember that story.
I remember it. I remember.
You are real.
I told you. You know what? Like, my brain remembers almost every conversation. And so we talked about all that, but I didn't know who you were. We were just talking.
Uh-huh.
And then the next thing I know, James and Robert had a cheesecake addiction because it was on Facebook. We're at Val's Cheesecake again, and we're here. And so I think you are like the top attraction for people that come. They literally, when they get here to see James and Robert, they're like, when do we go get the cheesecake?
And that's a blessing because now the whole staff knows the whole crew, okay? They know by face, by name, everything, and all the flavors they actually like.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I have been on airplanes multiple times and have told people, you need to go to Val's Cheesecake. And so a lot of people have come, and I always tell them Kim from Kansas sent you.
Kim from
I said, so even when I go to the places, I always go, I'm Kim from Kansas. So if someone comes in here,
we
I
have
am
received
the Kim.
that, yes.
And so it's like Kim from Kansas, and I don't even know these people. They're just like, I'm on a flight to Dallas, and I'm like, are you going in? Blah, blah, blah. You got to go to Val's Cheesecake. And there's 3 of those locations. But yeah, so anyway, we just wanted to do a little snippet for the show. This is our adventure. I'm going to return back to Tyson now. We're going to talk a little bit more about what we were talking about before. But we're going to go over to our very first Superstar segment.
Ooh.
I know.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm a superstar. I self-proclaimed a superstar a year ago, May. It's very easy. I just set it on Facebook, and I made a business card.
That's easy.
That was very easy. I was like, I am an internet superstar, and boom, overnight, it happened. I mean, I had to make my own business card.
That's not a thing a superstar is, right?
Do what?
Making your own card, right?
I don't have a clue, but I did it and it worked. So people, they say, you're not a superstar. And I'm like, yeah, I am. And I give them my business card. And they're like, oh, you are? It just says internet superstar on my business.
I love this woman.
So, all right. Anyway, guys, go over to our superstar segment. We have a lot more to talk about. We will talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, it's that time of the year when we are overbooked and not enough time in the day to get all the fun things done. Holiday season is here, and do I have a great way to help you connect with family, friends, and even clients? Greeting cards used to be huge before technology came in and made so many things very impersonable. Then my friend Cody Bateman came up with a great product that would bring sexy back. Oh, wait, that was Justin Timberlake. Cody brought back greeting cards with a twist. Using an app from your phone, tablet, laptop, or computer, you can make a personalized greeting card for less than $5, including the printing, the stuffing the envelope, and postage. You just download our app on your phone, set up an account, and start changing the world one card at a time. Now that alone is awesome, but it doesn't stop there. You can also send gifts, like brownies, jewelry, toys, and much more, just with one click. My team would love to show you how to use the app and get you started today. This is also a great business tool to help build relationships, so everyone needs this app on their phone. The app is free, and you only have to pay for the cards and gifts you send. We do have monthly packages that bring the total of your heartfelt cards down to around $1.50. So, what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description of this podcast and get started today. You can also email us, and we will set up a meeting to show you how easy it is to send personalized greeting cards.
You can also send us your mailing address in our Facebook page, Selfie Cards Matter. We will send you a card. Let us help you make this holiday season the best one yet.
All right, everyone, welcome back. So who's ready for cheesecake?
I am. I'm always ready for cheesecake. And he's talking about how he can make it like almost anything you want. One of my favorite things, don't eat it a lot, but it's not even very expensive, is when it's the whole round of cheesecake, but they make it in all the different flavors. I mean, I always got my favorite in there, but just the fact that they make the assortment.
Right.
Oh, man, I love that stuff.
I loved Cheesecake Factory. I used to, go there all the time. I think I gained like 20 pounds one summer going to Cheesecake Factory because I just love the cheesecake. But when I met Val and I got into his cheesecake, and you got to go over and make sure you do listen to the excursion for this episode. But it is so good. And they make the full cheesecakes. They make tons. And I'm so proud of him for everything that he's done. But he has a brisket cheesecake. He's got a taco cheesecake.
I heard him say something like about any
savory
type of a texture, and that it kind of caught my ear, but I wouldn't have known that was what it was about.
And I haven't tried those yet. I just need to someday. And it's got like some brisket and stuff in it. So, I mix all my food, so it's
what
cheesecake.
I like about cheesecake is that it's heavy enough in the good way that it's sweet, but it's not just like sugar high because there's enough fat to it.
Exactly.
So I really like cheesecake for sure. So yeah, anytime I'm down there, I'll look it up. Which will be never. It's good.
Well, now you have a reason to go to
speaking
Dallas.
of local places, I don't suppose there's a cheesecake place in, as people probably know, Kansas City Metro is known for its barbecue. And I've always said I need to be better about going to those particular non-chain places when I do go over there. I don't go to Kansas City a lot, but I've got a particular friend over there, and that would be a good reason to visit. He used to work at the same place as I did. And someone mentioned at work who does barbecue. Like he's been in barbecue competitions that he finally went to Q39.
Oh my gosh,
and he thought it was very, very good.
Have you been?
It's kind of like Val's in that opened an original and then has just a couple more, but I think they've only got 2 locations. Yes. He went to the original, so whenever you see a list of Kansas City local barbecue, you'll see this on that list, and it always kind of caught my ear because it was kind of a unique name,
right?
Q39.
Yes,
and it turns out it's over. The original's over by KU Medical Center.
Yep.
And that's the one that he said he went to, and I think I'd rather go to the original. Also, it was boring.
I went to the other one. It's a little bit more upscale because I haven't been to the original one, so I'm sure the newer one is upscale. But the barbecue sauce, best barbecue sauce in the world. It is the best. Hands down. I love my sauces, and we went there.
Someone said it had what is it? Like really good macaroni and cheese, which kind of blew my mind that's a thing.
No, it's smoked macaroni and cheese, I think.
Anyway, it reminded me of that. Yeah. It's like, I can't go get cheesecake, but it reminds me of this really good place that has a great reputation and started from scratch in that metro. It's like, I really need to go there next time. But I already told my buddy next time I head over, we need to start doing check off the Kansas City barbecue spots,
Arthur Bryant's, the original Arthur Bryant's is really good too.
I've been to Arthur Bryant's, but I doubt
you have to go downtown. Oh yeah, it's a little hole in the wall downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Oh, okay. It's so good. You walk in there and you got the line of people behind the glass doing your food. It's really good.
Yeah, so that reminded me of that. But I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'm hungry for cheesecake now.
Well,
Not that I wouldn't always be. All you basically have to do is mention it. But
we got our first cheesecake place in Topeka that opened up about a month ago called G's Cheesecake.
Oh.
And so I haven't been in there yet, but I will be going in there. So anyway. All right, so let's move on to the actual topic for this show because we always have so much other stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about whether businesses should be opened on the holidays. And it's kind of funny to me because in the other previous episode, I was talking about how the holiday season has multiple meanings. And so there's a meaning for Thanksgiving, Some people gather on Thanksgiving to thanks because evidently it's the beginning of, the pilgrims and all that kind of stuff that we're taught. We have people who boycott it because of bad, they think it's bad over here. We have people that just get together because it's a family event. They don't want a celebration. It's just a way to eat a lot of food. Some people because they like the football. There's just different reasons. Christmas is the same way. It was meant to be a religious holiday, but I have my Jewish friends celebrate the Christmas gift holiday. So they do their Jewish traditions, and then they also do Christmas trees, and it's just the gift part of it. It's not about the religious aspect of it. But right. The holiday season, to me, also starts the season of whining and complaining about things you probably don't even have any business whining and complaining about. And there are some really passionate people out there who are just set against businesses being open on the holidays.
Yeah. It's kind of arbitrary.
Well, like a lot of people get off, like offices get off, but Thanksgiving, there's a lot of people that work nowadays. 30, 40 years ago, everything closed down. There's nothing open on Thanksgiving Day except the hospitals, the police department, and so maybe like...
Yeah, I'm good with it being closed. Was part of the trend here that, Black Friday started, right. And then people wanted to try to extend the Black Friday back? Is that right. Why some of the Thanksgiving...
I think so, because it used to be that the stores opened at like 3 a.m. Right. And so people would leave their Thanksgiving, and at 7 o'clock at night, they would go in their chairs and wrap up their tents, and they would go sit in line at Best Buy after dinner, and they'd sit there all the way to get this special deal. And, before, even that, before, the week before, or 5 days before or so, you would get the paper, and it would have all the ads in it. And so Thanksgiving, you would sit down. The day before, you could sit down and you could do the ads. They've already let the ads out. It's been 2 to 3 weeks ahead of time. You can go to a website, I believe thebestblackfriday.com. I think they have all the ads already. So now it's like this game of calculated.
Well, remember, part of the Black Friday, it was bad publicity, was so crowded and is almost dangerous, and they had to moderate that.
Yeah.
And then that was part of the reason they said, you know what? Why have this many people in one given, 2-hour period when we're opening up? Let's just, kind of gray it backwards and start it a little earlier, or, then to your point, some of it was let's start late the next day. And then some of that becomes, well, let's start earlier the next day. Then instead of 9 o'clock or 7 o'clock or 6, you're getting your, quote, Black Friday deals early. And then, so that's why it seems like it makes sense that that's kind of how this happened, that we went back to more stores open on Thanksgiving.
Right. They open up, but then they have tiers now of doorbuster specials.
Right.
And then so you can go in Thursday. I think last year we went to JCPenney's. We're bored. And we just wanted to go people shop. I'm not going to shop for clothes, but
there's no people shopping it.
Yeah, people and shop, people watching. Shut up, people watching just to see it. And actually,
you're thinking of Epstein. That's entirely different.
Shopping for people. No, we were people watching, and I just like to see how the process worked. And we didn't. The lines weren't really that bad, and it kind of spreads it out to where there's more time, and. But then all of a sudden at this certain time, then these other things go on sale.
Right.
And a lot of it can be purchased online. So I did go out. We went shopping. My friend Dawn and I, we did the Black Friday shopping on Friday. Chelsea and I went Thursday night after we got done doing Thanksgiving because we don't watch sports. So nothing, we watched a movie and then we're like, okay, well, it's 6 o'clock. Let's go shop. So we did that and then got up. And then my friend Dawn and I, we went to Hobby Lobby and we just went around to stores as friends and just kind of looked through stuff and just kind of made a day. But that was at 9:30 in the morning or something. It wasn't 3 o'clock in the morning.
There was a few years there where it was a deal to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning because the store was opening at 4.
Right.
If you remember, and all the women would do that. The guys would be like, "No, you can do what you want. I'm sleeping," unless they felt like a big screen TV that year. But for the most part, it's like, okay, we'll have fun.
Yeah. So
we gotta go to bed so we can get up at 3.
But what people don't realize is that those people are hourly wage.
Yeah.
They don't. So when you close, they're not getting paid. Usually for holidays. The store's not paying them, so you're taking away...
It's not a vacation day for them.
No.
A paid vacation.
Yeah, and I mean, they might have to take a paid vacation for that day, but to get paid, but mostly they just don't get paid. So you're taking a lot of lower income people and you're taking more money away from them. And then these people that are sitting in their big houses with their big jobs, and of course they get their paid holidays, these people shouldn't have to work. Well, here's the deal. You know that you're going to be open. If you don't want to be there, don't work the job.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just period. But then all of a sudden you get this list of people that are just like, these stores are not going to be open. And it's like a marketing campaign of praise to God, these people. And people on Facebook are like, they're like, oh my God, these people are so great. They're just so great. They're
I see both sides. I mean, it's like, yeah, you can market that, but then you can also, just say, well, we're open if you want to come in. And especially if it's the limited day. To me, the limited day makes a little bit more sense. But then you're saying, like, you get some portion of Thanksgiving off.
You eat lunch and then you get away from your family. And when I used to work at Kmart, when we worked holidays, because we didn't close, so like the day after Thanksgiving, they'd pay us time and a half. I don't know if businesses do that anymore or not, but I would get paid time and a half. Heck yeah, I'll work. I'd rather go work than not work. And so I don't remember back in the 80s Black Friday being. So I don't know when Black Friday even started, that 3 a.m. stuff. I don't remember. But we do have a list. Thebestblackfriday.com. I was looking up some stuff. And I think it's funny because when people use statistics, I always think if they use statistics like me, because if I want you to think it's really bad, I give you this real high percent. It's like 89%, and it makes it like, oh, what?
Right.
Well, what I find out is a lot of people like to use 70. They like to use the percentage 70. I hear that all the time when someone wants to convince me that everything is positive. In this place, it says about 72% of participants said they believe stores should be closing on Thanksgiving out of 1,000 people. Not 1 million out of 1,000 people. Well, maybe who are these 1,000 people? Where are they at? Are these all office workers who don't have to work? I don't know who these people are. Right. So, anyway, so let's go over some of these stores. I mean, the stores.
And this is per bestblackfriday.com.
Yeah, this is the Best Black Friday.
These are the ones that are closed?
Closed. Okay, and I really apologize for this,
at least
but
some of them.
Tyson, you will not be able to go to the Army and Air Force Exchange Service.
I haven't been there for a while, so it's not going to bother me. And that makes perfect sense because they're more in that setting to where people have that day off. Well, I shouldn't say that. If you worked at a squadron, you wouldn't necessarily get that day off. I don't even remember. It's been too long. Yeah, AC Moore. I don't even know who that is.
I don't either. Okay. Academy Sports
is closed. We actually have that one locally. Ace Hardware.
And Ace Hardware is normally like a locally owned franchise kind of a thing. Like we have Westlake. So normally
maybe it's corporate owned, and then the franchises is up to them.
Yeah, so that there might be some that are open. I don't know. Of course, Ann Taylor.
I don't know what that is.
And that's a clothing store. Mm-hmm. And her name, it's like it's like a brand like Abercrombie and Fitch or something. Oh. And then BJ's. Oh.
I don't know what's going on here.
That's kind of sad, isn't it? No BJ's on Thanksgiving. It's right here, people.
What do we have to give thanks for? No. Okay. That's almost an excursion. So the next one, Barnes and Noble.
Oh, no books for you.
That's what libraries are for.
Not open.
True. Properly so. Bob,
well, I mean, your house.
I've never heard Bob's Discount Furniture.
You're right. That must be.
Oh, by the way, next episode we're going to talk about books.
We are going to talk about books. Yeah. Burlington Coat Factory, they left Topeka, so don't care. We don't have a Costco. We don't have a Crate and Barrel.
We probably shouldn't talk about what we don't have. Everybody's gonna.
We're living in Topeka. They need to know what we're deprived from.
Regional area stuff.
Now these are all in Kansas City.
One of those?
They're all about an hour away.
Yeah,
I don't
they're
know
all available, just not necessarily
Fleet Farm.
5 minutes from now.
I can't believe Fleet Farm's not open.
Well, yeah, I can't believe Fleet Farm is open because I have no idea. Is that where they like raise and grow fleets?
No fleets.
Interesting.
All different kind of fleets.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. Guitar Center not open.
No.
Oh yeah,
More
half-price books. Yeah,
Nobody
Hobby Lobby,
reads.
Not that makes sense. Hobby Lobby wouldn't be.
Yeah, they're not open.
Home Goods, whatever that is.
That's like Home Goods is kind of it's got like clothing and kitchen aware kitchen. It's an awesome store in Kansas City.
Joann, is that the fabric place?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Lowe's is not open.
Ooh, but look at Home Depot not on this list.
Ooh, see, and some of that really is that. It's like, when you make that decision, do you figure you can work the publicity good enough to make up for the fact that the other store is going to say, well, we treat our people right. I mean, what do you do to kind of work the other and go, well, geez, if we are open that day, we have one less competitor.
Well, think about this. Think about, your mom, all the brothers and sisters are in town, and mom says, guys, this broke over here. And they're like, Mom, we'll fix it while we're here.
Yeah.
So we have to run to Home Depot and pick up something.
Some of them might literally be leaving the next day.
Yeah, so
some people might be staying the weekend, but other people might be leaving that
They want to do it right now. So maybe Home Depot, I don't know if it's open. It's not on the open list either, but it is not on the closed list. So Marshall's clothing stuff, Menards.
Save big money at Menards. I don't know if that's national yet.
Save big money at Menards?
Yeah, I mean, I think that started up in Minnesota.
It's Wisconsin. Iowa. It's Wisconsin.
Okay. Well, I'm from up in the direction that I said, so that's probably why I'm making that connection.
Yeah, and Menards is all, we have a Menards in Topeka.
Neiman Marcus. Okay, that's closed. Nordstrom. Office Depot is closed, and Office Max, and those two are kind of...
They're the same store.
Yeah, but they haven't necessarily changed the signage on all of them.
It should be Office Depot / Office Max. Pier 1 and Petco and PetSmart, dogs are out. I mean, you guys better get your dog food before.
Right.
Not going in there.
REI, is that like an outdoor place?
I think that. Yeah, I think so.
Equipment.
Sam's Club,
Even though they don't say Walmart. At least confirmed closed, but Sam's is,
Right, and Walmart
you're gonna
opens
get your
on
peanut butter that day. You can't get 15 pounds worth.
No, you're not getting. You're not buying your 20 pounds of chicken breasts or
get
your case of.
You cannot get a pack of a gross of toilet paper.
No,
rolls.
you cannot.
You can get your 24, but not 144 at once.
Nope, not on Thanksgiving.
Hopefully. You're going to be eating a lot.
Pre-plan.
You already pre-planned.
Pre-plan the toilet paper, people. Pre-plan. Because you can't, you could always go to Walmart.
Exactly.
So, Staples, Steinmart, the Container Store, TJ Maxx, and True Value.
Tell you what.
So
Home Depot might have a market
Yeah,
corner.
you know what? We might need to look to see Home Depot. But then we've got the evil stores who... do not care about their employees. I know.
You know what? I think that you made an interesting point, and I bet you it's not this way. Is that, we are open, but you get a time and a quarter or time and a half.
You get something.
Because I just feel like over the time, they probably, over time, they probably got rid of that, unfortunately. Right. Where it used to be like, well, no. I mean, the economy was a little better and income was more evenly distributed. I didn't mean that as any kind of a political take, by the way. I meant over a period of time.
Right.
I didn't mean it as any particular or even recent present. Just over a period of time. That sounds more like a 1995 thing to get time and a half on a holiday. Than it does a 2019 thing.
I do. Some people get it. But not everybody's closed. So we have a list on the same website of some places that are open. So we have Ace More. No clue.
AC
More. No clue who that is.
What that is.
Best Buy opens at 5 p.m. on Thursday.
So I think that's a nice happy medium, although I'm still probably annoyed. They're probably... Because, I know I've worked at entry-level retail before, and one awful thing about it can be if the manager does not do their job well, you don't even have a consistent, time frame. Not even days are bad enough where you can't count on, okay, I work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, but when you don't even know when you're coming in. So just the idea that at least that day they know in advance, well in advance, that they may have to work, but it won't be until 5 or 6.
Right. And you know what? There might be people working at 3 a.m. because they might not close, or they might close.
Yeah, it might be prep. There might be prep people. Exactly.
Keep talking.
Oh, yeah. So Kim's just popular, and those were some kind of notifications.
Yeah, and they're not going like, I can't get that gone, so I'm trying to get this off of here. There you go.
So we've got, GameStop and DSW. What's that one again? Is that the...
Shoes.
Oh, yeah. CVS.
But wait. Let's go back to Bed Bath & Beyond. Bed Bath & Beyond just announced that they're going to be closing a bunch of stores because they're having financial problems. And this says this is the first time that they're actually going to be open on Thanksgiving. So I think because they have been closed, I think they're hoping to be open this year to get some of that revenue in to help them.
This is where something I was going to bring up earlier. If I were Amazon, the giant megalith that is Amazon, I'd have some of my billions of dollars going towards the propaganda machine that it's not very nice to be open on Thanksgiving.
Right.
Because what does that do for them? People are messing around at 6 o'clock, and they're more likely to be... They may still be trying to shop at home.
But is Amazon
they may not
closed?
Wait till...
But is Amazon closed? That's you'd have to look to see if Amazon is closed.
Like they probably are, but whether or not they are, I'm just saying that I wouldn't be surprised they spent a little bit of their propaganda money to push the idea that retail should not properly be open that day. Because you got family around. It's like, oh, let me think. What should we do now? Like you said, you're bored. Don't want to watch a football game or whatever. You can jump on the computer and you start thinking about Christmas.
Right.
And it's kind of like it's not Black Monday yet, and people like to do Black Monday, so maybe they wait that long. But has Amazon extended it back? Regardless, if they can get you to do less shopping 3 days before,
right, then you do it online.
You got more money left.
But then we have the whiners that say, I will not shop on Amazon Prime Day and I will not shop on Cyber Monday because I'm not going to make those poor people have to work so many hours. That is just stressful. It is just horrible. That is really a comment that is people, they don't want to shop on Amazon on the Monday and on Prime Day because they have to work those people way too hard. They are working.
Describe my look right now.
Yeah. He's confused.
It's like,
literally, that's like I said, this is the season of whining. It's like you can't do anything right. So you close, people are going to be like, you're going to lose millions of dollars. You open, you're making money, you're providing a service. But here's the thing, and you can go see the list of every place open. It's whatever. But I have a list of 23 different restaurants that are open on Thanksgiving for at least the lunch portion. Or they open at 5. No one complains about that. There is not an outroar of, how dare you feed my family on Christmas Day? Because Christmas Day, I have just as many places. And I've noticed now that I do my website, that I call all the places, I notice that more and more restaurants are now opening and staying open longer. Some of the bars...
Where? When? Christmas,
Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve. Yeah.
Yeah, because for me, one of the things... What does your family have to do Thanksgiving? They got to prepare a lot of food.
Right.
So on Christmas, your mom or whoever is the matron of the family where you're going is like, you know what? I don't have to do anything. We just go someplace nice.
Right.
And it brings back to me one of my favorite movies ever, A Christmas Story. A Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells.
Oh, yes, when they burn everything and
they go to the Chinese restaurant.
Yep.
So we've done that in the past on Christmas.
Chinese have always been open.
Just go to the evening, go sometime for dinner, for Christmas dinner.
And
it's less stress, and it's kind of a special time, and
But more businesses are opening, at least for a lunch portion. The bars, I noticed this year, a lot of them cut their hours back and they don't open up till like 5 or 7. So that could be where the husbands could go watch the football while the wives go shopping, go out to the bar, meet up some people. But a lot of these restaurants that are open, it's because Some people don't have family. It's just a normal day. They don't have anywhere to go, and so they want to be around people.
To your point, it's arbitrary in some fashion because, you're mad about the retail, but then what about the restaurants? Because that's a hard job.
Yeah.
And what about the movie theaters? Because I think a lot of people do Christmas and they do Thanksgiving movies sometime that day.
Yep.
They decide to go to a movie.
They're still all open the same.
And to me, it's kind of an arbitrary thing. If I want to use an analogy.
Right.
We decide things pretty arbitrarily as far as what we're, quote, outraged by sometimes, and what we decide is a good thing to do and what we decide is a bad thing to do. And one is, I'm going to go back to this for the second time this show, so I don't know why this fixation, but I have a toilet paper analogy. The analogy is that some people, it's based on what you want to spend your money on, right?
Right.
Now, some people would go, why would I ever buy expensive toilet paper? I wipe my rear end with it.
Right.
And other people would go, why would I ever buy cheap toilet paper?
Right.
I wipe my rear end with it. Exactly. So, it's a lot of this is very arbitrary.
Right.
How much do I want to, I don't want to go there because it's not right that those people, and others like, well, no, we should just go. Let's go to the movies. It's the end of the day. We've opened our presents. We've relaxed a little bit. We're kind of bored. Let's go to the movies.
Is anybody worried about all the people working at the football stadiums for the football? Because those people are there all day. They don't get a morning. They don't get an afternoon. They go in the morning. They work all day. They do not have a Thanksgiving at all. Like, they're not working. Like, come in afterwards. I mean, the game starts at noon. They're going to be prepping at 9 o'clock in the morning. The game gets over at 3 or 5. They're going to get out of work at 6. They're going to get home. You think they're going to want to cook a big old meal? They've missed out on the lunch part of it. But nobody's outraged. Cancel football because those people shouldn't be working up over there selling beer and working the concession stands and the staff. How dare them?
The entertainment type of a thing. Well, let's go out and just, eating is entertainment, right? Any socialization, every single one of those requires at least some workers. But off of your list, I saw something interesting because, like, some of these smaller stores, they still have, like, Christmas sections, like Walgreens. I see Walmart waits until 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving because they don't want the bad publicity. Everybody wants to. I'm not saying whether it's bad or good, but everybody wants to jump on the big giant that's Walmart as far as publicity. But yet Walgreens, also a big chain, 24-hour stores are going to be open and other locations vary. But you know what you do at Walgreens? A lot of times, what do they have around Christmas? They've got like that couple aisle or so. They've got Christmas cards available.
Right.
They've got some Christmas
They've got some stuff going in there. They do a whole big ad. They did some really cool things in there. So yeah, the different stores that are open, there's a lot of places that are open. I just really wish that, we talk a big talk about being positive and, let's be thankful in November. But I hear so many people so worried about other people. It's like, because it doesn't fit in, like you said, what you want to do, doesn't give you the right to complain about it.
It may give you the right because you always have the right, but how about we, concentrate on the bigger...
The real things.
Yeah.
I mean, the airlines don't close down. So there's planes flying. Those people are still working. There's more people working than we actually realize that's working. But no, those are important people. Okay. So, when it comes to the retail, don't go shopping if you don't want to go shopping.
One of your great points is, now granted, someone can go, well, that's the only job I could get, so I got to do what I got to do. But on the other hand, it's a great point about, well, just remember, for those jobs, there's a lot of 30-hour per week people, unfortunately, due to various things that are not very long ago past, that aren't full-time, and they are not salary, and they are missing that 8-hour day, potentially. I'm not saying judgment as to on the whole situation with that, but it is an interesting factor to point out that is, as some of us are more of a salary or definitely 40-hour a week mode and get plenty of vacation like I do. It's not coming out my ears, but I get plenty.
Right.
You kind of forget if you're once you're into that stage of life that there are people who's like, well, that's actually a day they might have really wanted to work because they could use the money.
Well, and here's the thing. Thanksgiving isn't just one day, honestly. when I was going through my divorce and my daughter was smaller, and we had every other year was different holidays. So if her dad wanted her on Thanksgiving, when we had to do our Thanksgiving with my family on a different day if we wanted to have Chelsea there. So, you plan around it, get your people together, do what you want to do. It's not a day, it's a season. It's a time to come together. And so I just say, instead of complaining and boycotting these places, go and support them so they don't close. Because then this is the time that they make their money to make or break. And hence we go back to Bed Bath & Beyond. They just announced that 100 and some stores are going to be closing. For the first time ever, they're going to be open. That means they need people to go shop, and they want to be a part of that. I went there the other day
and forgot. Listen, I'm a straight male who's a bachelor. How often would I ever go to? Anyway, I like some of the stuff in there.
Don't ever get rid of their coupons.
I can't remember what I picked up, but I feel like I picked up something pretty decent there, or at least considered it, because I'm not much of a purchaser. But I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, it's a very cool store.
Really, guys, if you think always it's just your wives and girlfriends that go, once in a while check that place out, because it's got a lot of stuff that for us, because so much retail's around. Okay, what can you get? A few different type of stores. You're going to get things that you just simply don't find at the other easy places to go, like even a Target. I say even a Target.
Even a Target.
I'm not as impressed as Target being Walmart but classier. I don't know about all that, but that's the perception. I don't know that I agree, but you're going to find stuff that really is just different than you're going to find at some of those mass retail stores. So I liked it, actually.
And a hidden little note is their coupons that you get, they don't ever expire. Even though they have an expiration date, they'll always take them. So you can get coupons that are like 20% off a regular price item. Keep it. Just keep them. You don't want to get rid of them. So anyway, thank you guys so much for giving us your time. We appreciate our listeners and are excited. This show is growing so fast. Make sure to comment on our Facebook group, Kimology 411. And if you haven't joined yet, why? This is like episode 8. You should already be like a big fan. No. You should be commenting. And no, if you're not joined yet, you're missing out. Thank you, Tyson, for helping make Kimology 411 so awesome.
You're very welcome.
Is that it?
Oh, that's all I got. Oh, actually, let me tease an excursion.
Okay.
Do you remember like a week? I shouldn't say week because you were gone last week, but an episode or two ago, we were talking about misheard lyrics, and we were also talking about your upcoming trip.
Yes.
All right, so I have something that ties together. So you've had fun with the misheard lyrics, which generally that's pretty funny anyway. It's just generally a funny topic. I think I want to make an excursion about
on that.
Okay. And it may not be the excursion for this episode, but here sometime soon we'll make an excursion.
We're going to do an excursion for all that.
Yeah, it'd be a misheard lyric around... anyway, it's a funny one. The general idea was that, misheard lyrics are like, even where allegedly smart people, and I say that pointing at myself, it's the lyric and your brain just shuts off, and I've got a pretty funny example of that. So we'll make an excursion out of that one.
Awesome. And don't forget to go watch Val's Superstar segment about the Val's cheesecake. We will talk to you guys soon. Please make sure to keep going on all your adventures.